𝗪𝗏𝗏 TV, advancing kingdom lifestyle.
Good morning, this is Elevate Television Morning Digest Wednesday edition, and we are here again looking at amazing topics and looking at amazing fields. And this morning I think is going to be one of the best you've ever had this time. But before we do, before we go on to our program, please, the link is already out on Facebook and all our socials. And if you've not liked Elevate Television on Facebook, on YouTube, on X, and all these links, please do that so that you can get the quick prompts immediately we go live. So kindly let's go and share the link. Let me just share mine. You know the drill. Let's share the link. There is mine. Those of you on Facebook, those of you on there you go. Sent mine to who? Oh yeah, there you go. I sent it to you. I've sent it to I've sent it to all my guys. Yeah. It's on my, make sure you put it on your status. You also need to send it to all the people that we are connected to. Send the link, let it be shared out, and let's have an amazing conversation. Remember, you have a part to play where you can send in your comments, you send in your questions, and the guest will be able to answer as best as he can. And so please be part of this conversation and you will enjoy it. Karibu sana, my friend.
Thank you so much. This is Elevate. Thank you so much.
Today I will not introduce the guest. You will introduce yourself.
Okay.
So look at our camera, introduce yourself.
So thank you so much and welcome to all our viewers. Thank you so much, my host, Moses. It is indeed a pleasure to grace this occasion and to be able to just share my thoughts with regards to AI and research. So my name is Joseph Juma, and I'm an AI research consultant with a couple of years of experience, but also still growing and learning. Yes.
Amazing. Karibu sana. And I think I just want to, sometimes when we discuss about AI and sometimes I get guests who come here, I always ask them this question: how did you decide to walk into that, it's not murky, but good field?
Okay.
Yeah.
So basically for myself, my journey in tech itself began like a decade ago.
Okay.
So my first interest, of course, was aeronautical engineering, and that was very, very technical. The specialization, of course, was avionics, which puts together aviation electronics. But then I had the passion to augment it with the tech.
Okay.
And by tech, I mean I wanted to bring in IT into my aeronautical skills. So over time, I was able to get opportunity to work for different institutions, of course, with which built my capacity from systems and network administration. Then, of course, I went to cloud engineering and later DevOps.
Oh.
And DevOps engineering, which just basically means development and operations put together. So it is automating systems and infrastructures. And thereafter, when automation set in around 2020, and that was around the time of COVID-19, where the pandemic was. So we had the government, try to encourage organizations to try as much as possible to let staff work from remote locations. So that was the advent where like a call came for us to be able to automate our institution. And then we were able to move all the in-house, we call them on-premise systems to cloud. And back then that was a Microsoft 365 Dynamics Business Central. Of course, we reaped so many benefits, and even up to date, the system is still in use. Thereafter, of course, I saw the need of trying to put some intelligence into my skills and also the kind of work I was doing by then. And that's when now I began, picking artificial intelligence. Of course, it was existing, but not pronounced until around 2023. That's when the impact of ChatGPT came along, and that's how I dived heading into artificial intelligence.
It's amazing that you say that. I mean, artificial intelligence was there even before COVID.
Yes.
Because most of these advanced nations were already into it.
Yes.
But not as pronounced as it was after COVID.
Yes.
And so Africa, and I mean not even Africa, when they began, and I think the pronouncement came through ChatGPT.
Definitely.
When they brought in ChatGPT, what was the reaction? I'm sure you from your community, you have a community. What was the reaction?
Like in the industry and corporate corridors, normally what happens is, like if you are there as the technology person, normally it could be an IT officer, systems administrator, network administrator, database. You are the person the organization relies on to give them like the digital flashlight. So in my capacity, of course, I sought information, from YouTube, from learning online platform. Of course, I was able to get like much more meaningful information that could help myself to upskill, and then secondly also to help the organization leapfrog the digital transformation that they needed. But it was quite new to me, I must say. And one thing that I remember doing was so much like intensive study to try and get all the foundations of artificial intelligence.
Amazing.
And from there, now I've been doing incremental, because again, one thing that people must take cognizance of is that it's very dynamic, it changes so fast. Like it has been, just about 3 years, and we've moved from artificial intelligence to now the agentic AI ecosystems.
I'm telling you, it's the speed. And when you look at the speed and the movement forward, because I think I'm taking you too far quickly, and our, what do we call our education systems or infrastructures that are there, and the the advancement of these technologies. I mean, what goes into your mind?
I see opportunity. I see opportunity for the country, for young people, but also it comes without saying that indeed there is much goodwill that is needed from academic institutions, from government, or even policy makers and the industry. If all these three can work together, because yes, artificial intelligence is moving so fast, but should we just sit and fold our hands or try to do something? So it means that we have to be intentional, and being intentional, it means retraining teachers to be able to accommodate this in their syllabus. And also both private institution, public institution, and the government work along the framework to make sure that they provide the infrastructure that can enable learning. Artificial intelligence is massive. You might not do it at a pace of the traditional old computer systems. You require internet, you require good and fast computers, you require skilled people who are able to impart that knowledge. but this is the time to begin.
It's
We
true.
might not say that we are late, but this is the time to begin it, and we begin with early learners advancing into even the universities.
Talk about the preparedness.
Yeah.
How are we prepared for the advancement, the growth and the advancement? And how should we be prepared? Because I think that's what I hear you say. There needs to be great preparedness.
I must say that if you were to take like an audit nationwide, of course you will realize that the government has put in place the artificial intelligence strategy. I hope you are aware of that.
Yes, I've seen something.
Yes. But also there is an initiative with the government that the government is undertaking of training trainers of AI, like in different places, but also from different institutions. There has been that deliberate or intentional move for institutions to bring along courses that, of course, integrate artificial intelligence, whether it is in ICT. I might not speak for other faculties, but for School of Information Systems, most of institutions, if you check around, they are trying.
Amazing.
Yeah.
So I want us to go back to our key topic: research and artificial intelligence.
Okay.
You know, research is key in our day-to-day living. I think no industry can thrive without research.
Definitely.
And we've seen the traditional research methods where you just bury yourself in the library, get your books, you know, read through, get, you know, millions, let me call it data, you know, loads and loads of data, and then be able now to analyze that. And now the advent of AI has come in, and research is here with us, and we are able to do research at a more meaningful speed, and I guess a bit, and the accuracy also has a better rating, as we can say. And I want you to just put your voice into it about the impact of research, because I'm sure there's negative and a positive impact. So the advent of AI and research in our day.
So let me begin from this angle. First, I might not quantify how much people value the output of research. But from a practitioner's point of view, and given now the couple of years I've had experience in research, I must tell you that research is what evolves the product or even the services itself. So it's a crucial component, number one, to the business ecosystem. And then number two, also, as a country, research is still very important for public institutions, private institutions, and even academic institutions. Why does this matter? When you are selling like a product or maybe a service, basically it means that this service, one party may be happy about it, another party is not happy about it. So should you continue doing business as usual, you need to get feedback. And that's why if you go to social media, you will get sentiments about people lamenting about different things. So do they get addressed? Your guess is as good as mine. So basically it means that for each and every product and service, there needs to be an innovation pipeline, like a growth journey of that particular product.
Yes.
The product needs to be evolving with the time to suit users or even the customers' preference. Yeah, there could be variants thereafter, and that's why research is a very important key aspect of whether it is learning, whether it's doing business today. Then now comes in the AI.
Yes.
AI has not come to replace research.
Oh yes, it is.
Because you cannot go into ChatGPT and then just give it a prompt. and thereafter you get like a one-liner feedback and conclude that that's all you need. So it simply means that with AI, you can get efficient. It's sort of an accelerator, and that's where AI comes in. Yes.
Amazing. I want you to think to bring into this discussion something interesting that I'm seeing about research and you know, the concept of data collection,
yes.
especially data collection, because most of the research, because research basically, like you've said, AI doesn't come to remove research.
Yeah.
AI comes to enhance, and I think I've made this voice clear. I think I am a very big crusader.
Okay.
But you know, when you look at it from that point of view, that it comes to become an enabler, you know, and a better enabler, because definitely. Now you are able to do much at a very short time. We can't. Research is still research. It has to be. You know, the tenets of research still remain.
Definitely.
The advent of AI and that element of research, thinking about the collection of data. I mean, it's not uncommon to collect data and then you discover this is not accurate. Is that a positive? And we are going to be and I think we just delve into it, the positives and especially negatives, because one of the key things I've discovered in research is that sometimes the data collected is not as accurate. Okay. And so you can imagine the use of such kind of data in your research. Having been in the research field for a while, I want you to put your voice into it and how you can clear that out.
Okay. So when it comes to data collection as far as research is concerned, possibly there are key factors. Number one, like from which background are you carrying this research and what are your objectives? The motives carry the day. Sorry.
I like that. The motive carries the day.
Yeah. Because, number one, the input you put in, as far as data collection is concerned, that's what you will get as an output. Yeah. So it means that it has to be like a thoroughly and carefully thought process. And that's why before you even carry out a research, you take your time to design the research. Wow. To know the tools that you are going to use, to know how you are going. You also need to know the sample size, because again, if the sample size is not at par, of course your data output will be skewed. Yeah. If it goes above what is required, again, there could be repetitions and such kind.
Are you saying that there is need for one to be very conversant with how to use AI tools, especially before you go into research? You know, when that's an area people, most of us, basically out here, are not very keen on preparation. Yes. Which tools am I going to use for this kind of data collection? Which tools am I going to use for analysis? What tools am I going to use for even cleaning this data? And then what will I have to use?
Just to put it into perspective, normally when you are doing a study research, of course you want to gauge the feedback of maybe users or respondents from a given topic and be able to draw out conclusions and even confirmations if maybe you are doing a qualitative research method, and even quantitative to just confirm the numbers. So where does AI come in? So basically you will need to do like, if recommended well, you would not just begin like a research from designing maybe an in-depth research that you want to carry out. What you will begin with, of course, is a desktop research. So desktop research means that you have to rely on secondary sources, which I believe you will get citation from different articles, white papers, or whether you're going to YouTube just to watch something and then draw conclusion on it. You can also choose to search on the website, but most people today will go to ChatGPT. So if you take that information and copy paste, of course it will mislead you. Yeah. But that's where now the human element comes in. You need to be able to curate and also be able to do what we call grounding that particular information. In grounding, what you basically do is confirming that has this particular aspect ever been researched, what were the findings, so that you can include there. And that's where referencing also comes in. Yeah. So once you are done with your desktop research and it conclusively points you to the direction of trying to do like an actual research, which might do mixed methods or whichever you choose, if it's qualitative, mixed, or whether you want to do ethnographic studies, or basically what we call user testing, UAT. So all these research methodologies, AI still cuts across, because once you've collected the data could be massive. You need to clean this data to remove the nulls and not applicables, like in that particular context. But also you need to, like a human evaluator, in this particular regard of trying to ascertain that the data you've gathered is trying to point you to the objective you wanted to achieve. So you need to check if each and every response was matching like the context, because some might go out of context. But all these, imagine collecting maybe a feedback from an in-depth interview that has gone 2 hours. If it is very, very well structured, you might end up with 60, 70 pages. And if you are doing like multiple numbers, I don't know how you will be able to like put that together and get some insights to point you to the direction you want to go without using AI tools.
Wow.
So your work will be also to try and give appropriate and effective instructions, which we call prompting.
Yes. To
the particular tools that you are using, so that when it analyzes, it doesn't get something online that was not part of the study. Yeah.
Talk about that and help most of us who are doing research.
Yeah.
The place of proper promptings, because I've discovered it's the key is always at the prompting. Because if you don't understand promptings, creating the right prompts and be able to prompt it properly, you get information that is wild.
Yeah, definitely. So where the problem
and there's
comes
now
in,
an advent of prompt engineers.
Yes. Actually, that's what I wanted also to delve in. Prompt engineering is a very important concept in research. What I guess is misleading people, or trying to get people to do the wrong things, is trying to use ChatGPT as if you are using Google search, or any other search, whether it's Bing or that. So basically prompting, that's where now the human level of creativity and innovation of yourself needs to come into play. So you will sit down, you will reference yourself as an expert in a certain area, and you would assume, like just the way ordinarily if you are to do a task without ChatGPT, of course your task could be structured in a way you give a step-by-step instruction. So you need to write effective prompts that will be able to get the information that you are sort of looking at. Or if maybe for this particular instance, you've collected data and you're working on it, most of the times the tools that people are trying to use, like when accompanying the research they're doing, of course is trying to gather like a lot of data set, putting it into the perspective, the respective tool that they're using, and then giving it prompts to give them patterns of insight and all that. So in that finding, of course you must also instruct it to be able to ignore or even omit, like trying to draw in the context that is not in that particular data set. That's very, very important.
Because of time, we're going to be having a short break shortly.
Okay.
I'm talking about, and as you talk about prompt engineering, is it a course by itself, or is something that one has to undertake personally?
The good news is there are a lot of prompt engineering courses.
Okay.
It could be massive, but there is somebody like an ordinary user would be asking, so do I need to like take a long course to be able to know? Basically, with just fundamentals of prompt engineering or introduction, you should be able to do a few good prompts, but also know like the limitations of, because even the prompting itself has got limitations, and how do you go about creating good effective prompts. And even the prompts themselves, we've got, when we are training different models for the particular AI, basically there is an aspect of prompting techniques that comes in, things like few shot, zero shot, or even chain of thought. Yeah. Okay. And I think I'll elaborate more when.
Wow, we're about to go for a break, and I want to give you a chance after break, we're going to be reading some of the comments that are coming in. Okay. Some of the advantages that you have seen in your normal research work that AI has brought for you.
There are numerous, and let me just begin by saying efficiency.
Efficiency,
because like I said, having like if you do a 2 hours interview with a user to give you insight about maybe a particular service or product, probably if the user is good enough, you'll get like about 60,000 words. Wow. So 60,000 words combined with if you're doing maybe 12, 24 users, I doubt if you wanted to do like a report within 1 week, you would be able to finish if you're doing manually. So that making it faster using the available AI tools, that has been the case in my case. And then number two, there is a whole level of creativity that comes with the using these particular tools. The reason why I say this is that every time you try to use these tools and you realize that they're not giving you what you want, then you become more creative, even in terms of crafting the kind of prompts you want, but also trying to visualize the outcome you want to see, especially as far as insights is concerned. And then also it enhances the insights. Remember, you are just one human being.
Yes.
And if you are to visualize or trying to pick patterns from all this data, believe you me, you might not see other patterns. So it will enhance so that you're able to see like the other side of patterns that you might not have done as a person, which comes as an advantage. I don't know if you would want me to also say a bit about disadvantages.
We will do that after the break, because the break is here with us. Okay. So as we come back, please remember you can send your questions, your remarks to Juma, and as we come back, we should be reading some of them. See you after the break.
Thank you.
Convergence Family Camp meeting. The Convergence is bringing together all kinds of ministers, ministries, believers, and guess what? From children all the way to their grandfathers. And the camp meeting for many years has been always a great blessing. For those young people and their parents and older people that have attended the camp meeting, they always know that it is life-changing. It's a time of fellowship and staying in one place until the presence of God changes and transforms our lives. This is an appeal for all Life Church families, wherever in the world. We always must come together, and this December 9th to 13th, that's a Tuesday afternoon all the way to Saturday morning, we are coming together, the Maasai group of schools here in Kenya. If you're out of the country, make plans to travel. If you are in the farthest part of Kenya, make plans to travel. We are coming together. And listen, the people in the Apostolic House and the people in the city and those who are nearby, listen, December we're going to move out of our houses. We're going to camp together. Listen, there is a generation of people you need to connect with. The younger connect with the older mentor and coach the young, and spending time together is going to be a great opportunity. We're going to emphasize on 3 key words: friendship, fruitfulness, functionality. That is in the Gospel of John chapter 15 verses 14 all the way to 17, and this is going to be amazing. Of course, we are bringing together leaders, West Africa, from Netherlands, from America, from here Kenya, and a couple of places. Listen, it is only 1,500 for the adults. For the children and teens who are between 7 years and 13 years, you're gonna pay 1,000. Of course, it costs much more than that, but we're gonna supplement by asking the camp attendees and members of the churches across the country to also contribute to the major budgets of the camp. From the Apostolic House, welcome to the camp meeting 2025. God bless you.
This family camp is open to the whole body of Christ.
Welcome back. We're talking about research, AI, and the impact that AI has done and brought into the research industry, and the ability to use AI effectively in your research. We were discussing about the advantages, and I think my guest has brought out very interesting advantages: efficiency, ability to prompting. You wanted to talk about disadvantages.
Yeah. So when it comes to some of the disadvantages that users will always encounter, especially if you are the kind of prompt you are trying to use to get a particular information or insight, you get a prompt, a response that sounds so confident, or even the tone itself is confident, but the information is actually false.
Wow.
So that's what we call hallucination. So these models sometimes they get you information that you never requested for. So that's something that users need to be aware, and that's why it is always a best technique to try to reference it, maybe to data that you've gathered or collected locally, but also make sure that your prompt is very effective enough, unless it is something that you're trying to research within the global scope.
What about the issue of data bias? Sometimes
you
find
that's
that element of data bias, because search engines have their own bias, so you find that they would lead you to certain data.
So bias normally occurs with respect to whichever data has been used to train the model that you are using.
Okay.
So sometimes it's out of control, but again, the reason why, like their policies trying to advocate for having our own data centers within our soil, but also focusing more locally than maybe globally when it comes to developing these tools. I'm quite sure that some of you maybe have encountered innovation hubs or young people trying to come with solutions which are localized. That is to beat the bias, because then the information you collect basically is local, so it can reference to characteristics of local users as opposed to whatever the models have been used to train.
What about, when you've just brought that up and I've just thought about something.
Yeah.
Does that mean, and I think we need to think about Africa building its own data centers where it has an African touch or an African feel.
Yeah.
Somebody was talking about LLMS, building our own element in our territories, so that we can also be people who can handle large data.
Yes.
And we have capacity. We are very, very serious guys around. We
sure.
are very, very serious guys around. And I think you guys need to help us in that. Talk about the over-reliance on AI, especially when you're talking about positives. I heard you say something very interesting where you bring in the human touch after the data has been brought in. And that is to kill over-reliance. But what would you be able to speak to somebody about the over-reliance on these tools?
So over-reliance comes about as, for lack of a better word, maybe saying somebody wants something faster, or maybe in a lazy manner. Because one thing you remember that I've mentioned even in our previous session was that AI is here to augment your ability as a human being. So whatever maybe you could scratch your head, trying to lay out structure and all that, you can easily get the structure, then put in your work into it. So basically, over-reliance is bred by waiting too long and now having a short timeline to maybe hand in your work, whether it is at work or maybe at school. So basically just think, okay, I'll throw in the question and I get the responses. But also it is a culture that we need to build. Like I've said, this is the best time to nurture creativity, innovation and critical thinking. If you embed that and wrap it around using AI tools, basically you will kill over-reliance. Because number one, remember that for each and every prompt you throw into an AI model, of course you will get a response. But you, deep inside you as a human being, you will see that this is not sufficient enough. It's not the response I was, anticipating. So in that particular aspect, you can give it, luckily enough, today's AI models, they can do that chain kind of step thinking, and that's where the chain of thought prompting comes in, where you can give it one instruction at a time, it executes, and then you add it instructions. Just like the way you would say, okay, I want to make a cup of tea, how do I begin, how do I progress, and how does it end? So if you use those kind of tenets, then you will get it right. And it is encouraged now for the users to try and be creative, critically think, and also
critical thinking.
And also just be innovative around using these particular tools, and that alone would be able to deal with the cases of over-reliance.
There are two things I wanted to just put your thoughts on as we keep moving. I think today I'm trying to mine a lot of information from you.
Okay.
The issue of ethical use, and also the matters of privacy, because we all know that unless you set very high level, security for your data, there are threats on privacy. But then also the place of ethics. We are dealing with the days of data is major in terms of destruction of building, even character, and also institutions. And of course, ethics come into place. I want you to put in your field, because I saw another day there's a data, apart from the Data Protection Act that is around. Do we have something other? And I'm putting all this to you so that I don't have to interrupt your answer.
So it all begins at personal level. then goes to organization level. And then we have now the national policy, which is the Data Protection Act.
Yeah.
Number one, let me begin from the ethical side. And I think these that kind of power rests more on the practitioner.
Yes,
rather than the policy makers, or rather the regulators.
Not even, even the tools.
Yeah. But now the regulators come in only when the breaches happen. They have to take action in accordance to law. So, like when I say I'm collecting data, number one, I need to seek consent of the users I'm recruiting or indulging in this particular research.
Okay.
We also have to agree with them that particularly this data is only going to be used for purpose A, B, and C.
Yeah.
None other than that, and everything will be kept confidential.
Yeah.
So that's where most of the ethics come in. Because in today's society where people are data hungry, you will see that somebody collects data and sells it to somebody else, disregarding the rights of whoever that particular data was collected to. Or in other aspects, if it is in the health industry, you get that we get data breaches where patient records have been exposed, whether accidentally or by intention, or maybe somebody has got some ill motive. All that boils down to ethics, and that's why for health there is such a kind of regulation like HIPAA. And just coming back to the side of ethics, again, at organization level, when we deal with our customers, or even at institution level when we deal with our students, like that particular information is massive to be leaked to the wrong hands. Of course, it can lead to, or even banks. Imagine the customer data gets into the hands of the wrong people. So all these, there has to be regulation that works in tandem with ethics. And ethics, I think most of institutions try to deal with them by vetting the kind of person who is put to be in charge of that. And I think there is also an aspect where each organization is mandated or recommended to have like a data officer who is in charge of, that particular data access and how data flows inside and outside of the organization. Just remind me, we had ethics.
Privacy.
And privacy.
Yeah.
So when it comes to privacy, sometimes data we are collecting, we want to use it to train different AI models for different purposes.
Yeah.
It could be a voice assistant, it could be a chatbot that, gets to respond to customers. But you see, most of the time we would want to use the kind of database that we have. So basically in research, you need to use tools that will help you redact what we call the PII information, the personal identifiable information, things like name, telephone number, email. Those are information that can really implicate a user.
Yeah.
So the best way of dealing with them is a process of called maybe masking, or even doing that reduction, so that you can try and modify that particular data, use it to train those models to give you the kind of output you want.
I'm thinking, with that kind of information you have too much information. I'm wondering how now to get it.
Okay.
I'm thinking about becoming as a researcher, thinking about desiring to be a researcher, and not just especially in the AI advent.
Okay.
What are the key skill sets I should carry?
Wow, that's
You know,
yeah.
and I'm thinking, I mean, the kind of information I'm hearing from you,
Yeah.
you know, you're not a researcher for nothing, you know. You know, I'm wondering now the skill sets. I think they must be the bar is very high.
Yeah, not as quite to be quite honest, but I think the intention and the discipline to keep learning.
All right.
Like you need to be thirsty and to learn. And I say that because when it comes to AI, I tell you, like, it's very broad. And like I had said, AI began with AI, which now is like the subset of all. Then we went to machine learning.
Yeah.
Then we went to deep learning. Then from deep learning, that's where we get the neural networks trying to learn patterns over different weights of information and doing deterministic and even probabilistic outputs whenever they're given inputs. Then we come to large language models. Of course, the large language models, this is where now what powers the generative AI, which are the likes of the ChatGPT, where with given prompts you can get response. Then now we went to AI agents. So agents use a framework called React, where they reason and act through planning to just execute the steps. Then now, of course, if you move to the next, which is agentic AI, so that does multitasking and is an autonomous self-executing kind of system, AI system. So you look at that, probably somebody would ask, so with a lot of these, so where do I begin? You only need to begin simple. Begin by learning fundamentals of AI, but also you must be critical thinker. You desire to solve problems, but also you have a passion to fuel your learning. But just to put it in a context, for AI now with research, of course mathematics would be needed. We need statistics, probability, a few tech skills here like Python programming skills to be able to just help you navigate how maybe you analyze around data sets and all that. But also communication is still needed in this particular aspect, because once you've researched, analyzed and gathered your data, you need to communicate your insights to different stakeholders. And these particular stakeholders, of course, is from the users to decision makers. And like we say today, we do data-driven decision making.
Amazing. I had a phrase the other day. I don't know how it fits into this, but they were talking about AI and something they were saying resource inequalities, where there are certain tools that aren't very available to many people, but then they are available on the West. In the West, either maybe through accessibility or maybe the pricing and all that. And so some people, I heard them saying that there is that inequality. Are we beginning to see? Are we beginning to see something like AI activism?
I'm not quite sure of that. But what I know is that there are massive disadvantages when it comes to the side of the globe that we sit. They say, we are still a developing country. So it would be difficult for like a lot of users to think of using AI when what they're still boggling with is how they can feed in a day. Because for most of these tools, remember, to be able to get like even sufficient prompts in a day without limitations, or to be able to use particular AI tools to mine the kind of insights and patterns you'd want from that data set, it basically means that either you are a pro subscriber, so that you can use it without limit, however you would want it. And how many tools can you subscribe? If just one tool could cost you like over 3,000 shillings per month.
Amazing.
Yeah.
I want us to begin to close as we move out of these matters.
Okay.
And there are some of the things I want to talk about, the realities in Africa. We are dealing with certain realities, and we've seen research come into very, I was looking at a report from West Africa.
Okay.
And these are some of the reports that have been taking years to come up with. And models have been put in place, and the research is coming out clearer and showing up, and people are being able to use that data even to bring up new medical solutions.
Okay.
Because some of these things, I think, when I read that thing, I say, maybe these solutions are being kept back because the research was taking too long, or maybe, or maybe this is Africa. Things were happening at the research place, delaying the research to bring it out, and research by Africans for Africa, and it's coming out better, clearer, and we are seeing information coming out in a way that is very amazing. Have you been involved in one of those major research projects? Maybe you can give us one of your experiences.
Okay. One of those major research that I must say that I've been involved with, and this was at a corporate level, that I must say, is a research that we are trying to optimize a health information app.
Okay.
That normally sits in the phone. They're embedded in the phone. So basically, this particular health app, what it entails is using sensors, of course, to gather information. When I say sensors, of course, there's something called AIoT, so artificial intelligence of things. So these are one accessories that you can wear, maybe across the wrist or any other place that it's possible. So it will read things like pulse, the oxygen level, and a few other components. Then relay that particular information into your health app. And this is with the assumption that as a user, if you're using this particular application, already you've set it. You set by putting your height, your weight, to be able to calculate things like BMI, and also just health-wise. And in this particular optimization, of course, was trying to add other more aspects and also fine-tune it to get like the best accuracy. Like when maybe you're doing your morning jogs or even a morning run, you would be able to predict if you are somebody with the goal of losing weight or staying fit. You can always see like how you're doing in that particular one. Yeah, and it's called My Health App.
My Health App.
My Health App.
My Health
App. Most of that particular app, you can get it in the Android store.
Oh, Play Store.
Yeah.
Amazing. So some of those, and out of research, you're able to come up with such an app, and I'm beginning to see. I've been able to go to a few labs.
Okay.
One of the key things I'm noticing is that the solutions are many, and this maybe is on the other side, the negative part. The solutions are many. People are coming up with ideas and all that. But then the challenge I'm seeing in those ideas is a lack of adequate or proper research that can sustain that idea. Because sometimes ideas are many, but then there needs to be background information that comes in to authenticate that this solution is very needful for us to use at this time. Because some of them, actually, the solutions are just replicating others.
Yes. So, so you want me to talk about like what could be the challenge in that?
Yeah.
So this is familiar actually. Normally the solutions are developed by mostly developers, a pool of developers.
Yes, a pool of developers.
But I'm not sure if like a lot of users know that there is always a solution development pipeline. So with solution development pipeline, of course, you begin with a user researcher. Then there is a product designer. It goes to the product managers to endorse and see that the features, will meet the requirements, and of course also the market that is being made for. Then it could go to the solution architects, which are the engineers. Then finally to developers. All these are stakeholders, and they can't work in isolation. So I doubt if that is the structure of most of people who are trying to come up with the solution. Sometimes it might look like it takes long, but to develop an actual good product, you need like these key stakeholders in this particular aspect to be able just to get whatever is appropriate in terms of solving the problem, but also right for the market. Then number two, the actual place it begins, where we begin the innovation pipeline, which is the research. Research is very expensive.
Yes.
So, and without any backing, I doubt if that is something developers would really want to embark on. Because what comes in terms of designing the research, executing it, and then getting out the insights to be able to be shared, and all that. So it's quite an endeavor, which I think could be the problem. That is, and then also there's lack of goodwill to support some of these ideas. Most of the ideas, even if like people would come in front to just pitch, a lot of people would just see them as ideas, but not.
Amazing. What you just said caught my attention.
Yeah.
That research is very expensive.
Yeah.
And part of the pitching process
Yeah.
of these apps and these solutions basically are not pitching just for the solution.
Yeah.
They are pitching because of that background work that needs to be done.
Yeah.
I was with some people the other day, and they were saying the biggest challenge we have right now is funding for
Research.
the research for new technology.
Yeah.
Because you find, I think there's civic education is needed here.
Yeah, yeah.
Because the coming up with solutions basically is an after a lot of research that goes into it. And when it goes into it, it's a lot of money. And most of the developers are lacking that funding, and we have very few funding. People who fund. People would put money in a plot and leave it there.
Yeah, yeah.
But they will not put money in an app. Also, you remember when we were having our break, I told you we went for a certain launch.
Yeah.
I was so impressed to see businessmen who came together and looked at that idea. They said they want in, and they have put a lot of money into that application. That young man has come up with a very, very good solution. But before I met, when we were working with him, because I know him from the foundations of that idea, he really was looking for, he really was not able to do that thing.
Yeah.
Because the kind of monies that are needed to do research, the traveling, he met businessmen, and some of them are not even Kenyans.
Okay.
They put money into that thing. They said, this thing, the idea itself is brilliant. So what do you need? And he was even trying to tell them about the research, the movement forward, because again, the licenses are so expensive. Why?
Okay, yeah.
Do you think we have an ecosystem that is supporting, and we are closing, by the way?
Research, just to begin with, maybe an ordinary citizen, I don't think it has been it has not been made like something that is a key aspect of literacy.
Oh.
And if maybe there are some of the changes that maybe from policy level would need to be made, research should not be taught as a theoretical unit, maybe for one semester.
Yeah.
I think research needs to be both theoretically and practically taught, beginning from earlier levels, because even at university now you need to be innovating and bringing products into life. So it is really underscored in today's society. Even certain organizations, I'm quite sure they don't know what research would hold if they would just work to research on their product and services. And the reason why I'm saying this is that even after you've developed a successful product or even a service, you need to evolve it. People will leave you if a competitor has something better. And that's why you see, like in tech ecosystem, why do we have ChatGPT coming from 3.5, 4, 5? There is something that they are trying to fix each and every time. And there is always chance to better the product and services.
You might imagine I have to shut you down.
Okay.
Can you imagine our time is up? Could you believe it? After all this, you know, it's fun listening to you and looking at what what is going on. I mean, what you're saying. I think we need a session with you. You need to plan and come back here. We just need to talk about this thing about research and AI models. And I'm so grateful to just have you. I want you to look at that camera and give your parting shot. Then we shall be out of here.
To our viewers, I think it was wonderful having this discussion with my host, and it is my hope that you now know like a few tenets of research, but feel encouraged to learn more about research and the impact that it could bring not only to you as an individual, but country-wise and even globally. Thank you.
Well, I have nothing to add. This information is massive. You need to listen to it again and again. It will be there on our socials. But remember this: it takes research, and AI is not. It does not come to destroy. Does not come to take away. It's an enabler that comes to enhance what we are doing and to enhance your research. See you after. This week on Wednesday we shall be picking up another subject. But remember this: if you would want more information, the numbers on the screen there, and we can link you up with Juma and others. God bless you. Have yourself a wonderful day.